welcome to Pre-Match Focus with your host, me, Tim.
And me, Lee. How you doing, mate? Right?
Is it Leroy? You right?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Been a hectic week, though. Even after work, I've been out and about everywhere, so it's been a mad one, really. I think the missus is getting a night out tomorrow as well, so hopefully I can just put my feet up a little bit. And then Saturday I'm working again, so that's all fun.
It's constant, isn't it?
Yeah. How's your week been, all right?
Yeah, busy. I've had a really busy week, actually, mate. So
That time of year, mate.
yeah, I feel like a stuck record.
Well, yeah, we are, and we're just boring lives now, aren't we? We just work, come home, do this.
Waiting for summer to roll around, mate. Honestly, that's what it is.
Yeah, I think that's where a little bit of depression is rising up, doesn't it? A bit of nice weather to get us back into the spirit.
Yeah, that's what we need, mate. 100%. Anyway, right, we've got loads of football, so Saturday and Sunday, but not many on Saturday, which is a bit weird. Only 3 on Saturday, but structured quite well. I quite like that. But Sunday's obviously the new Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, TV rights, TV rights. I think a lot of it's to do with European football, isn't it? But
my betting is 2 years from now, it'll all be Amazon Prime.
Hopefully. I've got that, so it'd be nice to easily get on, but I suppose the subscription rates will be going up through the roof and everything.
Through the roof, you know it, like petrol prices.
Yeah, like everything.
Wow, I tell you what, I fueled up and he just didn't do anything. I was like...
My last one wasn't too bad, to be fair. I was quite surprised with it. I don't know what happened there. I don't know whether my meter reading was wrong and it's actually like gone in less on the price. But
wait till your next one.
Well, I've had some bad ones. I've had some really bad ones, but this one wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh man, honestly, it's bleak. Met a lorry driver who were in front of me in the queue, and he turned around. He said to the woman at the cashier, he said, £276. That's just cost me. She's like, she's like, oh. And he turned around and went, oh well, I reckon this will be £2.50 a litre soon. It's like, oh. Everyone will be ringing up work going, I can't afford to get in, mate.
I think they're trying to encourage everyone to cycle, aren't they?
The world's gone mad, mate.
It has.
But as long as this football's still flowing in between, it's all right, isn't it? So starting with Saturday, the 12th of March's games, which is 12:30 kickoff, Leroy. Brighton at home to Liverpool.
Yeah, Brighton have been a bit of sticky opposition for Liverpool recently, haven't they? But you know, Liverpool got to keep fighting away. I think Brighton's season's sort of tailed off a little bit.
Yeah, it's nosedived a bit now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the last few shows, I think I did predict their form to fall off, and they're coming up against a team that's fighting for the titles. I'm guessing that probably go a little bit longer now. So, yeah, I can't see anything other than the Liverpool win, to be honest with you.
No, I can't either.
I think I've actually predicted for a lot of away results this.
Do you know what? I have as well.
Yeah. There's some surprising ones as well. I've got a couple that might surprise you on this one, but we'll get to them in a bit anyway. But yeah, I mean, like with Brighton's recent form ain't going to help coming up against an informed Liverpool team.
No, definitely not, especially how well Liverpool have played, even though they've stumbled a bit the other night. But it wasn't a fact that they stumbled. To be honest, on another day, they'd have won 5-1, and it just weren't going in, were it? So
yeah. I've only gone for it to be 1-0, though. I think it'd be tighter. But, you know, Liverpool are devastating in attack with the new additions adding to that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
With Diaz and that very exciting player. But I think Brighton will try and hold firm for most of it, even if they go down early. I can't see Liverpool scoring too many. I'll probably get it completely wrong and be the other way around there. But
well, I've gone a bit more hardcore, I think. I've gone 3-1 to Liverpool.
It could be it's the early kickoff, isn't it? Is it an early kickoff?
It's 12:30.
Yeah, usually get quite a few entertaining ones like that, don't you? So you could be right there. But I think sometimes I think it messes with players' routines, like kicking off early.
Yeah, I agree.
Some of them just don't wake up. I don't think so.
Liverpool always seem on it to me.
Yeah, I think they're used to just playing at all sorts of times, aren't they? All sorts of days, everything, and they're just coast.
I reckon more so than Brighton will be.
Well, if this one works for them, they'll be calling for every 12:30 kickoff, won't they? If they're going to go.
So I've gone for that one.
Liverpool to win 1-0, and the tip is just a nice, simple one. Liverpool win.
Okay. Right, on to the 3 o'clock, which sees a blinding game of Brentford versus Burnley.
Not from my prediction, it won't be a blinding game.
I don't mind.
I don't know. I think we could be in for a low-scoring part of Saturday with these first two games, but I've gone for 1-0 Burnley on this one again. I think they make it hard for teams. Brentford had a little lift in. They won, didn't they, last game? I'm trying to think who it was against now.
Norwich.
But yeah. Yes, it was, yeah. That was a massive win for them as well. And I did
they were struggling, weren't they?
I did actually say in the last game it was their away form from last week's show. Sorry, from their away form had been shocking ever since they beat Wolves.
Yeah,
and they really turned up for that. Now they've got to come up against a team who's gonna probably shock their system a little bit because they're so used to getting out of this now. So.
To be honest, they'll play them at their own game and a bit more besides.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was saying Burnley going down and maybe still edging towards it, but with Everton and Leeds in free fall at the moment.
Could be any of them, couldn't it, at the minute?
Yeah, if they keep going.
But I think the fact that Leeds play Norwich this week might help them.
Yeah, well, another massive game, isn't it? It's going to be quite tasty at the end of the season, this one. I mean, everything seemed like it was a foregone conclusion, didn't it, this league? And now it's just really opened up again.
It's right open. Newcastle could be 9th before we know it.
Yeah, they're on the great run of form, aren't they? So this is without the signings yet. So if they can keep it going like this.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Honestly, in 2 or 3 games' time, Newcastle could be 9th if other results went their way.
Yeah.
It's crazy
That's a great turnaround, isn't it, really? Like, we was thinking, could this be the richest team? Well, I think we did say a few times the richest team in the world in the Championship. So.
Do you think they'll keep Eddie Howe?
Yeah. If he takes it into...
You know what? We said right at the beginning, I turned around and I think you did as well, and we said I think it could be perfect for Newcastle when we did that big special. Yeah,
for the current situation, I think even if they'd stayed up 17th, I think they'd have stuck with him because they'd have brought him in to make sure he stays up and they give him a chance.
Yeah.
Whether he really is their long-term project, then that's down to him now to keep pushing on with that.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, keep getting results. You can't not keep your job, can you? It's one of those. You can't sack someone who's winning. No.
I mean, if he can get this team playing towards the end of the season in this form and they're all on a high, then
I genuinely think they're going to finish. I think they'll finish top half this year.
There's a good chance. I mean, some teams, like I say, a lot of teams are getting that consistency of getting a few wins together, then losing a few.
Southampton's one of them, so they've just beaten them tonight. So honestly, I think I genuinely think the way they're going, Chris Wood scoring tonight, that Bruno Guimaraes, telling you, and I had them to go down. How stupid am I? But then again, I did turn around and say, if Eddie Howe was the right man for the job, I did believe that.
Yeah, definitely.
Just knowing how he used to play and the way he used to play with Bournemouth, and thinking if they'd have had some of the players that Newcastle have currently got, then do really well. And obviously they were really successful with Wilson at Bournemouth under Howe. And obviously they had King. So obviously now they got Sam Maximan. It's a bit of an upgrade, isn't it? So
yeah, especially after what I've seen of Josh King tonight, yes.
God blimey, I tell you what, Watford tonight, man. Oh, how United haven't beaten them this year is absolutely beyond me. They are awful, honestly. That is the worst football team I've seen in a Premiership, or at least this game. That was awful. And they weren't great against United. United just couldn't score. So it was like, can't believe it, honestly. Ben Foster's had an absolute howler. But we'll get on to them in a minute. So what's your tip for this one then, Lee?
I've gone for a Burnley 1-0 win.
I've gone 0-0, by the way.
0-0. I've gone for Burnley double chance. I think the way they'll set out, even that draw will win you the bet if they can hold out for that draw. Okay. It's probably be a bit of a shock to the system for Brentford this one. I think they'll be a bit surprised, especially after blowing away Norwich. They'll find Burnley really tough to break down. If they break them down early, then fair play to them. They could be on for a great rate, but because Burnley would have to come at them. But I think Burnley know how to play this game.
Yeah, I know. They're fairly seasoned at this, aren't they?
Yeah. So it's a nice simple 1-0 win again for Burnley.
Okay then. Right, on to the 5:30 kickoff, which sees my boys Man United at home to Tottenham. Oh dear.
It was a bit alarming how quickly the Reds dropped after playing so well against City. It was that second one. It was almost like the United players were like, well, we're not going to score another one and win this game now against City. That's the impression I got from their players, is that as soon as that second goal went in, they knew they weren't going to win.
They give up.
Yeah.
They stopped trying. It's unforgivable. Like, to be honest, I listened to what Gary Neville was saying, and do you know what? He's absolutely right. Roy Keane, absolutely right. Everyone who's talked about United after the last game was absolutely right. And I think it's time. Now. We're at this kind of crossroads, United, where it's so painful to watch that, and we've got all these mega money players and they're delivering that. It's time to start revoking some contracts, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Sending some people on the bike and start playing some youth kids. Why not? Just play some kids. We've got plenty of them. They're all half decent. So
I bet they wish us in Chelsea's situation, don't they? So they could cancel.
Honestly, that's another thing again. They could be screwed soon.
It's not looking promising. I think because it's Chelsea, there'll probably be some glimmer of hope where something will come their way to give them a bit of, a little bit of leeway for teams like that. But we'll see. It's going to be a tough one.
It's all built on oil money.
You could see Chelsea going back to the days of where, but I mean, in the 90s are still entertaining. But there
this could be a prediction. Newcastle where Chelsea are next year, and Chelsea where Newcastle were this year. Boom.
Possibly.
Big exodus because they can't pay wages.
Well, they might not have any defenders this year. I think they've got 3 going out of contract, haven't they?
So Rudiger, everyone's after Rudiger.
Christensen's practically signed for Barcelona, as far as I know. And then Azpilicueta, he's faded a little bit, but he's still good experience at the back, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
With the Man United game, Spurs so inconsistent, you never know what you're going to get with it. If they can put in the performance they did against City in terms of the counter-attacking, they could shock United a little bit.
Tottenham are going to be well up for this.
Yeah. I mean, Man United have had the better of the results, apart from that, was it 6-1, something like that, a few years last season, was it?
Yeah, we've got absolutely battered in some games over the years recently.
Other than that, United are usually the winners of this time. I just have to sit on the fence. It's not gone for 2-2 on this one. I think it'll be entertaining game. I think there'll be goals, definitely.
Well, I've had to put a prediction down to the masses, so it's not what my what my heart's saying. You know, unfortunately, I'd love United to win, but I've seen this kind of scenario before, and I just think I've just seen the way we're playing, and I don't know how we can change that mentality, to be honest. So I'm gonna say 2-1 Tottenham.
There's every chance of it. It's I mean, there's every chance of any result anywhere, isn't there? But yeah,
I just don't see enough in us, mate. I've just not seen enough in us to persuade me otherwise. Obviously, I want us to win. I'd love to say 5-1 United, but I just don't believe it. I can't. I've not seen any evidence of that, you know.
yeah, it's not year 2000 anymore, is it? When you used to beat them 5 all the time, and even when you used to come down from 3-0 down and beat them 5. You know,
Oh man, it's definitely not them. Right. So guys, we had a little technical error then. You not had a stroke, in case you wonder why Lee's background's changed.
I fell from my bedroom into my living room. I got kicked out of the bedroom by the wife, which is the usual occurrence. So.
Right, well, we'll crack on, shall us? United and Tottenham, I said 2-1, so you went with
2-2.
2-2. I hope you're right. And what's your tip for this one then, Lee?
Over 2.5 goals for this one. I think there'll be plenty of goals in this.
Right then, on to Sunday the 13th of March, which is as a host of 2 o'clock kickoffs, starting with Chelsea at home to Newcastle.
Yeah, well, how times have changed, though. You know,
I know.
Years of Chelsea being the rich boys and Newcastle having to just slog it away. I think Newcastle fans will be in great spirit for this one, won't they? I think there might be a few pee taking. To be honest with you, I don't even know what's going to be going on with the crowds. Or is it any season ticket holders that can attend Chelsea's games?
Not sure.
Yeah, I haven't really looked.
Money, will they?
Yeah, I haven't looked. Obviously, I've heard of the sanctioning and all that, but I haven't had time to look into.
They'll probably let the football club still run a bit, like, for the players.
Yeah, I didn't know whether away fans were allowed into Stamford Bridge. Would Newcastle take all that? I don't know. I don't know how it works now.
No.
I was thinking to myself when on the way home, listening to it on the radio, and it's like there's just issues with too many clubs now, isn't there? You've got, you know, when we was probably going through about 2010 up until about 2017, 18, there was no issues with many clubs. So now you're getting a major
all the time, isn't it, now?
Yeah, the finances that have been put into the game has actually wrecked a lot of clubs.
It's killing loads, and that's what Gary Neville were on about years ago, and that's why the Super League thing was such a bad idea as well.
Yeah, it is a big shame, and it has cut a big love of the game for me. I mean, like when I come home from the Palace game, I left the Wolves Palace game on 70 minutes last week. It was absolutely shocking. Obviously, there's been a bit of a change of fortune tonight, probably because I haven't gone.
Probably. You wish you had gone.
It'd have been 1-0 to Watford if I'd have gone.
I doubt it, mate. They were rubbish.
But yeah, it is a shame to see how much money's wrecking this game, and I think it's just going to get worse and worse, to be honest with you.
I agree.
It would probably be ended up in. Say that again, sorry.
Can only go one way. Can't keep paying astronomical wages all the time.
Yeah, it is. There needs to be some sort of capping somewhere along the line, because, you know, we'll end up in regional divisions at this rate.
Yeah, probably will.
There'll be about 4 teams to the division of each region. So,
Wolves,
yeah, it's not
Villa,
good,
Birmingham, and Leicester and Villa. Coventry.
Yeah, so I suppose the fans will be entertained with derbies, but then you quickly get bored, wouldn't you? So.
Yeah, you would, yeah.
Especially when we play Albion all the time, we always lose them. So always lose to everyone in the Midlands, I think.
Well,
yeah, with this one, because of Newcastle's form and the news at Chelsea, even though they've won tonight against Norwich, I think under any circumstances you'd expect Chelsea to beat Norwich usually. But I think Newcastle are going to surprise them here, and I think they'll get a win. I think they're going
I
to
initially had a Newcastle win, but I went 1-1.
I've gone for a high-scoring one. I think Chelsea have been a bit funny at the back recently, and with their defenders' futures up in air, you got Azpilicueta, Christensen, and Rudiger all out of contract. It looks like they're going to have to leave now if nothing gets sorted out by the end of the season. I think their heads ain't going to be in the game properly. So I've gone for a Newcastle 3-2 win here.
God blimey. And what's your tip for that one then?
The old favourite, the both score, no draw.
Both score, no draw. Okie dokie. Well, 2 o'clock, Everton versus your boys Wolves.
I don't know what it is about Goodison Park. I always enjoy watching Wolves play at Goodison Park. It hasn't always been the correct result, but I always feel like there's a bit of openness to the Wolves' performances when we play there.
Well, they definitely will be this year.
Yeah, well, the way we've played tonight, we've got to put that same lineup out. So that was actually
you could beat anyone like that.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, like, when we put the team out against West Ham, I knew straight away we'd lost that game by seeing it. And then when I seen the lineup tonight, my confidence went from probably thinking it was going to be about 50% because of the Palace performance. It went up to about 90% certain that it was going to win. And then we're going to stick 3 goals in 15 minutes.
Thanks to Ben Foster.
He loves us really, doesn't he, old Ben?
He does really.
I'd love to see. I'm going to have to go into his YouTube again. Say that again, sorry.
It was a come and get me plea.
Well, he's played for every other team in the Midlands. I think I'm sure he had a loan spell with Villa at some point, didn't he, as well?
Yeah.
He's definitely at Birmingham.
Yeah, he definitely did at Birmingham and West Brom, obviously. Has he ever gone Coventry?
Unless very early in his career, but I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I think it was just he was at Watford earlier on, wasn't he, before he came back? So I think he had a few loan spells with Watford when he was
were you at somewhere like Wrexham?
Oh, I can't remember. My memory's fading now.
Where United spotted him.
Who did he start out with? I'm trying to think who he started. Was he at Stoke? Or something like that. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I can't go on my phone now because I'll just waste viewing time by looking on my phone.
Yeah. Well, I reckon, bud, it's going to be a bit tighter. I think Everton might turn up for this one. And I reckon it's going to be 2-1 to Wolves.
It's Everton's own form under Lampard's been good, and it's been half decent all season, but the away form that's wrecked them.
Yeah.
So it is going to be a tough game, and I'd probably had a different result if we hadn't won tonight. Completely different. But yeah, I've gone for us to win 2-1 myself as well.
Yeah, I can just see it. And what's your tip for that then?
We'll keep an eye on for, obviously, Ruben Neves is teaching on the brink of suspension. I think
you've been proper on him, you.
Oh, but he's a walking yellow card though, isn't he? He probably should have got booked again tonight. So.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, that may come in for Ruben Neves yellow card, and then Everton's own little whippersnapper is Mason Holgate if he plays. That's if Frank Lampard doesn't change the old defence after the other show against Spurs.
They were rough, weren't they? But he might do. But I think Holgate might keep his place. I think Keane's teetering on the edge.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's declined, really. I'd say everyone goes through bad form, but probably for me, for the last few years, has been their better centre-half, hasn't he? But Yeah, not in great form at the moment.
Struggling. Anyway, on to the third of the 2 o'clocks is Leeds at home to Norwich.
I think I might have mentioned last week about I'm not too sure about American coaches in the Premier League, and clearly the first 2 results haven't gone his way, have they? Pasted tonight by Villa, and what's a bit of a blood boiling derby between them two these days, isn't it?
Oh,
because
yeah, absolutely.
what happened a few years ago with the old I'll let you go and school goal.
Promotion. Yeah, the promotion chase.
Yeah. Norwich have just blown up again now, haven't they? They're just, that defeat to Brentford after all that hard work of pulling it back, just probably
killed them a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's almost, even though we've been wrong a couple of times and teams have pulled back in to a little bit of comfort, I think it's 90% certain now that Norwich and Watford will go.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then it'll be down to the other 4 or 5 teams that are fighting it out to stay up out of that bit then.
Well, I've got Norwich to get a result here, though.
Yeah, I've had them to get a draw.
I have as well.
Yeah, it's hard to say because I think if Bielsa was here, I'd have had Leeds to win this.
Yeah, I agree.
Despite the form that we're going through, you get a win at some point, surely. But I don't know. I think something about American coaching in the English game. I mean, it hasn't worked out for him when he's gone to Leipzig when they've got a Champions League quality team. He had them mid-table.
Yeah, they struggled with him, didn't they?
And he's done it at Salzburg, but I think I could go to Salzburg, not know who anyone's there, and probably manage them to the title in Austria. But yeah, they did get some good results in Europe under him and that, but this is a different kettle of fish now. Yeah, and I can't see him lasting past the season, to be honest with you. If they go down, definitely not.
No, I agree.
So yeah, I've gone 1-1 in this one.
I've gone 2-2.
Yeah, there's a good chance of seeing goals again on this one. I've gone both teams to score on this, so if you've gone 2-2, I'll nicely get me bet in there.
Ideal. Right, on to the next 2 o'clock, which is Southampton at home to Watford.
This one will surprise you. I've gone for Watford to win in this one.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
I have, yeah.
That has surprised me.
I think he'll get a similar reaction out of Hodgson will get a similar reaction out of what Lodge has done tonight from what he said about Palace performance, and he won't stand for that. Obviously, I reckon Watford will go down, but I think he'll get a reaction at the weekend. And Saints have now gone into they're now taking on the prediction of what I said about Brentford and who's the other team that's lost? Brighton. Now they've gone into a little bit of capitulation of form. So I reckon Watford will stun them. I think you always get a result like this in the Premier League where just one team will get an away win out of nowhere and you just really don't expect it, and this could be that one.
What are you saying then?
I've gone 1-0. God knows how they're going to keep a clean sheet after tonight.
I've gone 3-0 Southampton.
If I pull this one off, then I'll be very proud of myself.
Yeah.
I've gone for Watford double chance as the tip. But I think that could be great odds, especially after tonight. And to go to Southampton is really tough.
Oh, you'll get great odds for that. Yeah, they're not going to get any kind of favouritism, are they?
If you want to be really brave, go for Watford to win. That's going to be up to about 7-8 to 1, I think, now, for that to happen.
Impressive. Right, the last of the 2 o'clocks then, Lee. We've got West Ham at home to Villa. Clarets.
Yeah, so I always just think that one as a kid growing up. So these two teams in Claret playing each other in the Premier League. But obviously, they wouldn't wear the same kit on the same day. But tough one, this one.
I think Villa have hit some form.
Yeah, won the last three, haven't they? And banging in some goals now as well. West Ham, they'll be coming back from a tough trip against Sevilla. You know, it'd been a game where they probably put a lot of heart and soul into that game. Sorry, against Sevilla. So even though they get a day's respite to play on the Sunday, I think Villa. I'm sure I heard someone on the radio saying that Villa usually struggle when they go there, whether it's been Upton Park or to the London Stadium. So I've had to go with a 2-2. I was teetering between a Villa win, but can I see a mid-table team winning 4 on the bounce? Possibly. We've seen it a couple of times this season, but yeah, 2-2 for me. West Ham has still got a lot to play for. I think Champions League's out their reach now, but they'll still win another Europa League campaign. Villa could actually do Wolves a favour. They're probably not completely out of it themselves, Villa. If they keep going on a good run of form, then might be able to be late contenders for maybe that Europa League 2, is it, whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon over 2.5 goals in this one. I think there'll be probably a little bit more complacency in West Ham's defence. For Villa, you know, free scoring at the moment, but also at the same time can see West Ham nicking a couple, maybe a late goal coming into it. We'll see.
Ideal. Right, so on to the 4:30, which concludes weekend's football. Big game, Arsenal at home to Leicester.
I think this is the only...
I've just got this feeling this is a game made for Leicester, this.
Funnily enough, I was just going to say, I think Arsenal is the only home win I've had this week. So we'll see which one comes out. But Leicester have really picked up the form, haven't they? And they've got better defensively as well. So
yeah,
we'll, you know, stop. I think the way, even though Arsenal conceded against Watford twice, and was it 3-2 in the end?
Yeah.
I think their attacking play has just been what we've been watching of Arsenal for the early 2000s, and that, you know, some really sick stuff. Saka looks really sharp at the moment. Martinelli is a handful.
Smith Rowe.
Lacazette, even though he's not scoring many, he's contributing really well.
Yeah, he is. His hold-up play is fantastic.
Yeah. So I think that'll earn him a new contract for the next couple of years, maybe.
Yeah, I reckon you're right.
But I've still gone for an Arsenal winning this one. But I think maybe the Leicester playing in the week, even though there's at home, might just be a bit of tired legs. But they have really picked up themselves. But yeah, Arsenal win for me 2-1.
Leicester win for me 2-1.
Interesting. This has been the worst week for contrasting that us do this week, hasn't it?
It does a bit, yeah.
We've laid down the gauntlet here.
Yeah, so we've got a head-to-heads on this week. So what's your tip for this one then, Lee?
Over 45 booking points. I think both teams are partial to a yellow card.
Yeah, I agree.
So 10.
Xhaka's playing.
Yeah. Oh, he'll get you 25 points for a red card, he will say.
Oh, yeah. In the first three minutes or something.
And the one that we'll probably agree on will be the City game, won't it? Surely you've had City to win this one.
Yeah, I have.
To be fair, Palace have been a dodgy side for City to beat, but usually it's at the Etihad, isn't it?
Yeah.
They usually think they get something at the Etihad, but when City come to town, yeah, I think Palace find it hard. What score have I gone for?
Yeah.
3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
I've gone 4-1.
Oh. Well, I know Palace have got a better defence than United these days, haven't they?
Yeah, but I just can't see it. I think they'll get overrun.
Yeah,
quick,
I mean,
too quick for him. They'll be.
it's strange, isn't it? They seem to be a bit more free flowing on these smaller pitches, don't they?
Yeah.
They seem to just find the feet really quick wherever they go, I suppose. But with the Etihad, it seems like there's more space for them to play.
I just think City handle the pressure really, really well, and I think knowing that Liverpool they can't even afford to slip up now all of a sudden because Liverpool are in such good form, and I think it's going to recreate what happened a few years ago.
What with the when they won the first Premier League title?
Yeah, if City win it, it'll be by like a point or something.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Was that when they played? But did City play Brighton? Liverpool played. Remember Liverpool played now. But yeah, I remember City going down 1-0 to Brighton that day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, what?
I know, yeah. And then won.
You always expect them to score under Guardiola and get back into it, and then they just scored about 4 or 5, didn't they? In the end, I think.
3-4.
Yeah, it was just easy for him in the end. But this is what Guardiola's brought in, isn't it? He's took away that City was sort of like how people called Spursy, weren't they? They always made life difficult for themselves.
Yeah.
Especially when there's under Mancini had that, QPR would have been a walkover on any other game of the season for them, but they made really hard work of that. Just a little bit. And Guardiola's just took out all that like worryiness that they have, they usually get things back
He's
up.
so good, mate. It's so depressing that he's at the other side of Manchester. It's like, oh, where did it all go wrong?
Yeah. This is the thing. When Sir Alex retired, surely if he had been coming towards the end of his Barca contract, he would have told the board to go and get him.
Yeah.
And you'd have dominated for years more to come. You'd have been out of sight of anyone reaching you. But
we just used to be really good at recruiting and getting to people first, but we're just so poor at it now. And that's half of the problem, innit? So, yeah. But anyway, less about them. I don't want to talk about it. So what's your tip for that one then, Lee?
Over 9.5 corners. City usually, I think they're the leading corner takers along with Liverpool, as I say. But
yeah,
on a smaller pitch, they'll be camped more in Palace's area. There'll be a lot of clearances going out. So I think City will back up a load of them. And I think, usually you get teams around Palace's ilk having a little go, and they'll get a couple of corners up their end as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
Ideal, right? Well, that concludes all the football this week. So good to see everybody. Good to see you, Leroy.
And you, mate.
Yep. And please like, share, and subscribe. Please click the bell button to keep the reminder on about when we do have any new content, which is weekly. We'll be back again next week for the next round of fixtures. And bet wisely, bet sensibly, and yeah, hope you have some good luck with some of these tips, and hope the football's great for your team this weekend. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Good to see everybody.
It's got to be better than last week, by the way. There's a bit of a rough week last week. We'll be back on it this week, guaranteed.
Yeah, hopefully. Right, take it easy.
Cheers, guys.
See you later, guys.